Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. We hope you're all doing well this fine freezing week. Tonight we've got Laura, as you can see next to us. But our two distinguished guests tonight are two gentlemen who are very accomplished in the film world, and they're the founders of CRA Entertainment. We've got Mr. David Espinosa and his buddy, Mr. Craig Arhens. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Alive.
Good, thank you.
Alive. That's the main thing. Just Sarah watching. So tonight we are looking at. We've spoke to David and Craig on quite a few occasions, and the actors and actresses for their various films. But tonight I thought we'd do CRA, the journey so far. Basically, where CRA, how CRA came about, and then talk about their films. And I thought there's no better people to speak to than the gents are sitting over there, than the gents are. So, CRA, I need to ask you one thing, and this is going to show my ignorance. I actually thought about it earlier on. What does CRA stand for?
Sure, that's easy enough. Creative Renegade Artist.
Yeah. I know I've spoken to you quite a few times, and I was earlier on today, I was saying with tonight's show and what have you, and I thought, I've never ever asked what CRA stands for. So I do apologise, gents, for that one,
No worries.
But now that I know. So how did CRA come about?
Well, we met, David, what was it now? 7 years ago? About, right?
But you had established CRA right before I met you. You had been doing, I think, some shorts. You won a couple of awards doing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, CRA was established a few years before David and I met. I was doing a series of short films, but what really ignited CRA is when a mutual friend of David and myself, Todd Chase, introduced us. That's when our first film, The Evil Down the Street, was launched, when we shot that film. And that's when CRA really jettisoned and took off. But yeah, David, to David's point, I had done a series of short films prior to us doing Evil Down the Street, right?
And did you click right away? Because also, again, I've said I've spoken to this quite a few times, and I think I mentioned this before, but you can see the bond that you have both got together, professionally and, I don't know the word, unprofessionally, outside the work.
You were watching.
It's been a long week. It's still, it's Thursday, it's nearly the weekend again, and it's nearly Christmas, so it's been a long, long week.
Professionally and personally.
Personal, that's the word I'm looking for. Personally. I'm so glad you're here tonight to keep me right. You know what I mean? Never forgotten what I was going to say. So did you, as I say, you get a really strong bond, and I think that's a major help, how successful you have been. Did you click right away, when you first met each other? You say, I like this guy, he knows his stuff, kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
not at all. Not for a moment.
You know what the problem was? He was too short. He was too short for me. I can't handle being around short guys.
No, it really was, Scott. It was one of those weird things that it clicked from jump. And David and I did not meet in person until the day before shooting Evil Down the Street. And did we do any, I don't think, David, did we do any Zoom thing or anything before?
Nothing. We spent about 10 months, almost a year, pre-production planning over the phone.
Right.
And on our computers, I live in the Sacramento area, Northern California. Right. He lives in Orange County. So we never got to know each other than that way. And then after we already secured everything, production ready to go, actors hired, sets done, everything planned, I flew down to Orange County. He picked me up at the airport. We both looked at each other, and I went, "Oh, hey, you're Craig, huh?" Hi. And he went, "Yeah, hi, Dave."
But see, I need to add a little bit more. I mean, we weren't that frivolous. Like we met on Craigslist and said, "Hey, you want to make a movie?" No, it was I through a mutual friend that David and I both have good respect for. Todd Chase was trying for what, David, about a year
About a
to
year,
do the
I was
introduction.
working
A
on
long
that film.
time. It was a long time, and I first met David with the idea of David being a retired attorney. And my background was mortgage banking before going into this business. And so before doing Evil Down the Street, and I had a script. Well, I thought I had a script until David went through it all. I think I had really more of an outline, an outline of a script. But so I met David as an attorney because I didn't want to do anything without getting a legal opinion and getting an attorney on board. And so that's where I first met David. And we just started talking. I liked him. I liked the way he was, looked at everything. And in my opinion, I don't know about his, but I really clicked with him. And then the more we started talking, finding out he was a graduate of UCLA School of Drama, I thought, oh my gosh, what are the odds of an attorney also graduating from UCLA School of Drama? I thought, he's probably like the only one. And so we got, talking further, and he asked about I sent him the script and making some suggestions on the script. Well, as it turned out, basically he rewrote the script, and I got tired of keep saying thank you and thank you and thank you. I said, hey man, I have to put you down here as co-writer. It's silly maybe to say that I'm the writer, but that's very disingenuous. And then along the way, I asked him because I was going to be the director. And with his background as far as writing screenplays and scripts and novels, he's an acting coach and an actor and all of these things. I said, hey, why don't you direct this? Would you like to direct it? He goes, I'd love to. I thought, oh, thank God, because that's a lot more up his alley than my alley. And then there's a part in here, Father Bob. I said, David, hey man, do you want to play that role? He goes, I'd love to. And anything that I threw his way, he was always so receptive. So that's how the whole thing began. So it wasn't like I just picked up this guy at the airport and said, hey man, it's nice to meet you. So we had a lot of this discovery going on, so it's very serendipitous how, when God shows up on anything, it's not just a little bit. So it was very, go ahead, David, do you want to say something?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. So it was just unique how just something really small, like I'm thinking of meeting this retired attorney to kind of have on board with this project, how it grew and grew and grew. And what was unique or has been unique with our skill set, what David's strengths are, and let's say what my strengths are in our past, complement each other really well for filmmaking. Like, sure, I can cross over to his side of the ledger, but that's not really my thing. And same for him on my side, but we both have unique gifts that we really enjoy doing. And for two old guys, it's not half bad. And, we bang out films and that's what we do. So there you go. David, please stop talking, David, about me. You talk for a while.
I like how you say two old guys. David, I need to ask you, what height is he? Since you says he was short, what height is he? It's one of these questions, it's a given. You need to, as soon as somebody mentions it, you need to ask. Is he smaller than what height am I? 5 foot 6?
5'6".
No, I'm 5'8", and standing next to this guy, I look 5'5", I think, or 5'4", or or 5'3", you get the idea. He's like, what, 6'5"? So we have this Mutt and Jeff kind of, thing going on. When you see us taking pictures, I mean, you can definitely distinguish, I mean, who is and who isn't. They say, well, Craig's a tall guy. We know who Craig is. Okay, because it's not just a little bit, it's a lot. So, and I'm serious. When I met him at the airport, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" But
we paranormal exposures. A team for I always get it. It's either Iowa or Idaho. It's next to Oregon. I know that. But the guy it's William and Kat Armstrong that run it, and William's originally from the same part of Glasgow as I am, but he moved over to Oregon about 10, 11 years ago now. And so they came over here. We've been talking, we've had them on the show, etc. And they came over here on holiday about a year and a half ago, and we met them to do an investigation. And that was the first thing I said to him: "You're short." He was tiny. I should have said, "Hello, it's nice to meet you," or what? But I said, "You're short."
Remember that song came out years ago about short people?
Yeah.
Remember that song?
I do.
Okay, there's a song came out in the United States about short people, about we get a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? But let this be known about short people. We can get into some really tight places. Okay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
never turn your back. Don't turn your back.
Laura's husband, he's 6 what?
6'6", and I'm only 5'3"
Wow.
So understands that.
Oh, so you're both my size. Right on. Good people. See?
Wow.
Right?
Whenever we meet, we'll just be like that in a straight line.
What I want to know is who let this guy in? Huh? Who let that guy in?
Who let the tall guy in? It's no room for tall people. No, Craig, Laura's husband, he's called Craig as well. Yep. He's got his habit, he leans on my head. Pretend that's my head and go like that.
I had a guy in law school. For some reason, my friends were these huge monsters in law school. And this one guy, William Figueroa, from the Figueroa family in Los Angeles, we used to call him the tomato. He was huge. And he would come up and rest his arm on my head, and he called me Stump. I was like, what? He said, "Come here, Stump, arm." And he put his arm around my head. What are you going to do, right?
That's you meet these guys, and I used to work beside a guy many, many years ago. Ivor, his name was. And this guy, he was taller than Laura's husband. This guy was enormous. Absolutely. But he was the nicest guy you could ever meet.
Oh, yeah.
He was married, a couple of kids, and he was a big puppy. He was very, very quiet, and quietly swears. Jen for our Australian side. Hey guys, can't stay in chat. Hope you all have a great live replay. No bother, Jem. She's from sunny down under. I was told to the other day it was 35 degrees in Australia. And I think we were at 3 degrees or something like that. I mean, same as you guys. You guys got all the weather as well.
It's cold over here where I'm at. Absolutely. I'm at the base of the Sierras, Northern California, in Fair Oaks, California, and it's quite chilly. It gets down to the 30s at night. It's been 33, 32, around there, and then warms up to the high 50s, but it's a little chilly.
Yeah.
Well, we're used to that. I mean, we're weathered over here now. So cheers, Hatchie. So the first film was The Evil Down the Street, about just a normal everyday family, and Katie. And I might have this wrong. Katie was the mother, the housewife, who was possessed.
Correct.
And so that's what I like about all your movies. That was the first movie that the thing that caught me about that film is I love my horror films. I love the blood and guts and stuff like that. But I like a good story as well, but I love to see somebody losing appendages, what a head, a leg, you name it, it makes it a better story, I think. But anyway,
The Evil Down the Street didn't have a lot of gore in it because it wasn't that type of story. Craig knew this family, so it was more of an abnormality of behavior, how somebody all of a sudden their personality changed. She went from being a housewife, loving mother to a drunken slut who just wanted to go hang out. And how do you deal with that in real life? Is all of a sudden, if that happens in your family, is it because your mother or that person has just gone off the rail, or has something possessed them to take them off the rail? Evil has a goal. Evil has a personality and a character, and evil entices people to want to feel things, lust, love, to feel like we've eaten a lot, like we've drank a lot, anything that satiates our feelings, comfort, of anything of that nature. Evil does that. Don't get me wrong. I like to drink wine too. Yeah, and I've smoked it. Yeah. I've done all those things. I'm not ashamed of none of that. But was that the evil? Well, it's the evil if you can't control it. It's the evil if it controls you. Whether it's shopping or buying food or eating, it doesn't matter. So that's what happened to her, and that's what I saw when I read what originally was written. There was all kinds of other things in there, gags. I call them Hollywood gags, tricks and gags. And when the script was presented to me, and he told me that he knew these people, that these were real people, I was blown away at the behavior of the mom. That would have freaked me out if I heard weird, sexy music coming from downstairs. And I went down, saw my mom undressing to some imagination character. That'd have been it. That'd have been it.
Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing, Mom?
I'd have ran away, man.
Some things had to be unseen,
You can't unsee that shit.
I think I saw my mum getting changed one day when I was a teenager, and I suffered for months for nightmares. It wasn't a good day.
No, that's not good.
As you say, there's no a lot of blood and guts. The thing I liked about it was, you get these horror films, it's always, good versus evil, good wins. It's kind of always the same. I've always said that I'd like to see films where the bad guy wins. The bad guy comes out. Not I'm an evil person or anything. I'm not a serial killer or anything like that, But it'd be good just to come about,
Or I was looking at you sideways on that last comment about serial killer. Hey, but to answer just for a moment what you just said, the Crumbs is exactly that. These are some evil, horrible human beings, but they're a mother and a father and a daughter and somebody who loves them, and they love each other and care for each other. And Doctor was willing to do whatever he can for the survival of his daughter. How is that wrong? Well, if you're doing it at the expense of others' lives, well, wait a minute. Doesn't that sound like what the world does anyway?
I liked the Crumbs because it showed, at the end of the day, they were serial killers. They were killers, but it showed a different side, I felt. Your usual kind of serial killer is, some guy running about killing people, the police are trying to catch him, sort of thing. But with the Crumbs, it showed that, okay, they were killers, they did what they did, but they were kind of normal family, if that makes sense. I say normal, I use that term loosely,
Oh, yeah. Notwithstanding the fact that, they're cannibals, they're incestuous, they do a little bit of draining of blood, kind of vampire kind of stuff going on. Aside, they murder people. Other than that,
They're wonderful people.
They're
They're just
normal
wonderful
people.
people.
Well, she says it right. Well, wouldn't you do whatever is necessary for your family? And the
Aye,
answer,
that's right.
Definitely. Yeah.
how do you deny that? Who here would not fight to the last breath to take care of their family?
But it was, see, they were a normal family, and then you had Chelsea. I'm going to get her name. I can't pronounce her second name.
Jerkowitz, Chelsea, Jerkowitz.
Jerkowitz.
Jerkowitz, yes.
I got it right. I think I got it right when we had Chelsea on.
You got it.
I can't, you get these names in life, and the letters just don't seem to match together. Like, how's that a word? How's that a name? You try your best to pronounce it. 9 times out of 10, you get it wrong anyway.
Yeah.
But it was little things, as you say, like the mother, so, you do whatever for your family. And then with Chelsea, who, when she discovers the internet, this whole new kind of world. And then you get Anton, who played, he had a wee crush on Chelsea as well. It was kind of like typical everyday stuff. And you don't get that in a lot of films.
No, somebody told me something that exactly with what you're talking about. This person told me that they realized they were starting to actually feel sympathetic and liking the characters. And then they have to remind themselves who these characters are. That they're pretty nasty people, but again, it depends upon what side of the war you're on, who is the winner and who is the loser, who's right and who's wrong. I mean, that's a tough question. And right now, today, unfortunately, politically and in the world, that question is really up for grabs. I won't get into that, but on a macro and micro level, things seem to work the same way all the time.
Yeah. Very true.
I started to feel, no sorry for sympathy towards them as well. And you do, it does kind of make you put the serial killer bit, to the side and look at the family side of it. And what they go through every day and the normal stuff. And I thought that was really a nice touch. That sounds cheesy and corny, doesn't it? It was a nice touch. That's really grabbing you about the Crumbs.
I don't know, because at the end of the day, that's reality. That could have been your neighbour, that could have been your cousin, like your sister, or your whatever. You're still going to have an element of sympathy toward her.
Right.
Yeah. That's what makes it normal and real.
And let's not forget Craig popping out of the bushes.
And what's you
Who's that guy in the bush?
Exactly. We look historically, if you just think about it, we look at crime families like Ma Barker. Very famous mother criminal here in the United States. And she has children, a bunch of boys. They were all criminals. She was just a disgusting person. But she thought she was okay taking care of her kids. And come out of the depression and feel like, hey, whatever I do is okay. I'm taking care of my own. It gets really kind of strange, that principle of survival. At what cost? Darwin said at any cost, basically. The herd will shed the weak and the old, and those become food for the other strong prey, the hunters. So what are you going to do, right?
Exactly. It's true. I mean, look at the Cray twins over here. Their mother, she knew what they did, for a living, if you want to call it that. But she was like, oh, my boys would never do that. My two boys with the Crays, I know they're passed away now, no disrespect to them, but there were two of the sort of baddest so-and-sos you ever meet, from what the story goes. But the mum said, oh no, my boys, my babies would never ever do that.
Mhm.
You know, they're totally innocent, even though they were clearly they did what they did. And it does make you wonder about the kind of mentality of what exactly is going on. And the mother and Maria Olsen, who played the mum in the Crumbs, I thought she was brilliant. Well, they were all really good, but I thought Maria, she nailed the. I'm going to sound like a film critic here, right? But I don't need. I think she nailed the character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, she had that. The thing that got me about her character was she this look that she used to do. And I think I say this to Maria as well. I think I actually got to do the look. It was just like the way a certain look with her eyes and chill you to the bone.
Mhm.
They were easy to work with. They were excellent actors. They took direction well. She was always prepared. In the auditions, her and Chelsea, they nailed the audition, both of those two.
Yeah.
I was impressed with them right off the top. I saw their reels. I loved their reels. I generally never care about a reel. I usually don't even watch them. But something had me watch them, and we gave them the sides, the material. They took the scripts, came back. They were excellent. We hired them right away. And you're right, Maria Olsen's a professional, so is Chelsea.
Yes.
Chelsea's got a lot of just instinctual talent. Chelsea, she really does. She understands the psychology behind the words. And by that I mean the true emotion. You know, what motivates us to say whatever it is. Even the words "I love you," they can mean "I hate you," right? They can mean "Look out, I'm going to kill you any minute." So you know, and she understands that, given context in which the words are said and who they're said to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked working with her. There's a lot of people easy to work with. Craig is like that in the Evil Down the Street. His character that he played, the neighbor across the street.
That's right.
I didn't give him direction as to what he did till after he did it, and then my direction was, "That's good, keep it." But it worked. I mean, he was working with Deborah Romaglia, who is an excellent actress. I loved working with her as well. And they had this energy between them. You could tell they've been husband and wife probably too long, but they still love each other no matter what. You know, he'll take off and leave her back there, and she'll have to catch up. And you know, the holding of the hands is over, but yet he still loves her. I loved that scene. It was one of the best scenes I thought in the movie, just because of that. So, you know, it's hard to say.
Well, in Demon.
Wait, back.
We didn't catch you. You broke down. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Wait, there's no sound.
We collectively.
You can't hear me?
Now we can. Just now.
You're kidding me.
We don't kid about audio, man. We take audio very serious.
Oh, you know why?
No.
It's bizarre. You know what I should have done, I guess? My bad. A call was coming through. I note to self. I should have put it on do not disturb.
Or used your computer.
I tried that. I couldn't get through. Took too long. And I started getting nervous. And I didn't want to be that guy.
Hey, you're already that guy. Just by saying that.
You're already that guy.
The whole world knows that.
I know. And I thought, gosh, damn it. So I thought, yes, I have to do it on my iPhone. Like, you guys have all nice horizontal screens. I have this dipshit thing going on, you know?
You should see us making a movie. Man, we're something else.
You know, that's what I tell my kids and friends. It's easier making a feature film than jacking around. I get stressed going on StreamYard. Like I'll start the process like around 30 minutes before the hour. And finally I think, screw it. I'm just going to do it on my iPhone. To hell with it.
I got to tell this story. We were almost done with The Evil Down the Street. It had been really stressed. And one day I come up, we're taking a moment from, or they're just resetting the set. And I come out and I see Craig and he's sitting over just, he looks miserable. And I walk over to him, I go, hey, what's up? He goes, this is it. I'm never making another movie again. This is it. This is it. I'm done. And I looked at him and I says, yeah, okay, sure. I'll see you on the next one.
I generally say that about 3 or 4 times a film.
I'm not doing this again. That's the last. This is it. I'm calling it a day.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
I'll see you in a couple of months, but I'm never doing it again,
Yeah.
So, what were you saying when?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I was in my car, and I had in my trunk the wardrobe that I wore in the Crumbs. The guy going in the woods and all that stuff, right? And so there's a knock on my window, and
we're shooting Demon Fighter now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you, David. We're shooting Demon Fighter, and it was one of the PAs saying, David needs you on set, dressed as the homeless guy, 5 minutes. And I just thought to myself, all right. I thought, well, it's a good thing. I thought before, coming up for the movie, that I better just, as a safety precaution, bring all this with me. And in 5 minutes, the homeless guy from the Crumbs reemerges for Demon Fighter in the alley in Demon Fighter. So that scene never made it to the film, but I was there. David beck and call.
Yeah.
I just with Dave, you were saying, Dave, you want to see us making a movie. I would love to see the two of you working together in real life, making a movie, because I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be funny as well.
Scott, let me tell you, it's frustrating, very frustrating. I have long legs. David walks like he's a world-class walker. It's almost impossible to keep up with him. And I'm trying to talk to him, and it's like a foot race. By the time I'm done talking, you're exhausted. Yeah, David walks just incredibly fast, like annoyingly fast. Yeah, it's like a 3-year-old who has to get to the bathroom. It's incredibly fast.
I can relate to that, Craig, in a way, because Sarah, we go maybe in a big supermarket or something, and she's got a trolley. I say, I'm going to grab a loaf of bread. She could be in the next aisle to me, and I could be like 2 minutes. Just grab a loaf of bread, but she's gone. She's about 10 aisles away. You'll verify this, won't you? She's about 10, and I'll say, we were in a shop the other day, it's big, it's called B&M, and she says, I'll get you in the cleaning aisle, whatever it was. So I was like 2 minutes, if even that. I went back, she was gone. And it was one of the shops you need to walk right up and down and look down each aisle. And then people start thinking that you're looking at them.
Yeah, like you, I go right to what I need, get it, boom, gone.
I'd say I'm the same. You go in, bang, bang, and out. But women, no disrespect to women, the ones sitting next to you, be careful. But women who go up and down, I call it aisle to aisle. They'll go up and down every single aisle. Even stuff they don't need. They'll start, look at this and look at that and look at it. And then the thing that gets me is, we're getting right off topic here, but is maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, they'll say to you, do you remember that pot I seen 3 weeks ago when we were in that shop? No, I showed you the pot. Well, we're going to get it. I think, what pot? But no. So I know what you mean, Craig. Sarah's worse for it. She'll just boom, she's gone.
Gone. Waiting, I got you.
And you start to panic because you think she's left the shop, and you're walking about with a loaf of bread or something. So I do sympathise with you, Craig.
So
Aye, I do sympathise. So moving on, Love in Quarantine was mixed up. But Demon Fight and Love in Quarantine came out just close to each other. Is that right? If I remember right.
Yeah, we had shot Demon Fighter, and immediately after, just about 4 or 5 months down the line, we shot Love in Quarantine while Demon Fighter was in post production, and they came out right pretty close to each other at the same time. There was something going on with Demon Fighter that we had a problem with, and I forgot what it was, so it caused us a long drawn out post production. Generally, it's pretty quick. And I think that's one of the main things I love working with Craig about is he's into getting things done, as am I. So we're pretty good at scheduling and forecasting when something will be done. Fortunately for us, we got hooked up with a gentleman, Josh Williams. He's a director, a writer, an editor, a musician. He's awesome. I love working with him. He edited both Demon Fighter and Love in Quarantine for us. So that was that. And they were like very different films. Love in Quarantine, we call it a dramedy because it's about a couple been married for 20-something years, biracial. He's black, she's white, and they love the hell out of each other until they're quarantined. And all the little idiosyncrasies, all the little things, the pet peeves, the stuff like not putting the cap on the toothpaste that starts to drive you crazy, drives them crazy and drives them apart. So unlike most romantic comedies where people are trying to come together and obstacles are hindering that, they're already together. And now they get driven apart and then we bring them back together. But it's through a lot of pain and a lot of problems.
Right.
Process.
I've enjoyed all the films. I think Love in Quarantine because also the pandemic at the time. There was a lot of stuff going on about the effects of the pandemic. Obviously millions lost their lights and what have you. But with Love in Quarantine, it showed you the other side there. As usually says David, man and wife, Ben and Caroline been together for years and stuff. But before the pandemic, they were probably, their daily lives, they never noticed all these wee bits and pieces, like toothpaste cap, and we a lot of things you probably never noticed them, but it showed how. I think it showed how the pandemic affected probably a lot of married couples. Probably a lot of couples, married, unmarried, whatever. Yeah. During that time, we were quarantined basically, and so you were together 24/7, and you do start to notice all these wee bits and pieces that start to annoy you, and that's what I liked about it.
Well, thanks. And something, it also, I think, demonstrates how people who claim to love each other love when it's convenient. In other words, when it's good for them, when it's working out for them, when it goes their way. But when we really love somebody, we strive to not just understand them, but to accept all the stuff we don't like. That's really where the love is. I do the thing, my wife and I, we both do this. I've been married 46 years. God help her and God bless her. Okay. But what we do is something really simple. When stuff's not working out and it's bugging me, I always remind myself, and sometimes I do it out loud, that's where love comes in. That's where love comes in. Because, I'm sorry, but I can't handle that other stuff, man. But I love you so much, that other stuff doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the message we were trying to put forth, that despite all the stuff that drives us crazy about each other, there's certain things about our people that we love that supersedes and overcomes all of those little negativities. And you go back to seeing that and you hug and hold and kiss that person. That's it. It doesn't matter if they snore. It doesn't matter if they got hangnails or whatever their problem is, or they, getting bald or whatever it may be. You love them.
Yeah.
we live in quarantine. It was like it was different stages, you know. And then I think it was after I might get this wrong, day 72 or something. That's when the cracks started. Maybe been sooner. That's when the cracks started to appear, you know. And when they were filmed separately, you know, you could see Ben's face, you know, he'd shut the door or whatever, you know. And Caroline was the same. And then they went on the dating app, which is probably something they would never have done, you know, if they hadn't been, I was going to say locked out, if they hadn't been in quarantine. And it turned out they were actually tinging each other.
I think we do that. I think you pointed out a good point. We had a marriage psychologist watched our film, got in touch with us, wrote this incredibly long review of the film, and not to bang on our backs, but praising the film that it covers just about every clinical understanding of marriage counseling problems. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. You know, writing it was just writing from what we think would be conflicts and what we think might be funny to poke fun at, you know. We didn't make any pronouncements. We weren't telling anybody to believe this way or think that way. I don't like to do that. But at the same time, love doesn't need a pronouncement when it's real.
Yeah.
It overcomes the defects.
And it showed that, I mean, we've all got wee habits that annoy our partner, wives, partners, whatever. You know, it could be the smallest thing, you know, with leaving a light on or something. It could be something silly, you know. I mean, leaving lights on is one of my pet peeves, you know.
I can tell.
The Christmas trees lit up and the front of our house, I've got 1,400 lights on the front of the house. I'll send you a picture. I counted them the other day. There's 1,400 lights on the front of my house. So I don't shy away from the electricity. The electricity bill might be a bit atrocious, but it's Christmas.
You're talking about leaving the lights on. That's on the serious side.
I've been in houses where that before. You get every light in the house is on, and everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 2 a.m. or something, and it's like, you know, Vegas. Why? You know, and or they'll put, you know, somebody might get up and go to the bathroom, and they'll put the bedroom light on, then the hall light on, and then I mean, they know where the bathroom is. It never moves. You know, but they need to get there. You know?
Only a person who has to pay the electric bill understands this argument.
That's right.
Yeah, it's so annoying. You know, these things. You know, our daughter, she's 7, and you know, she takes off dirty clothes. I'll say to her, you know, put them in the washing machine. She puts them in front of the washing machine. I know she's only 7. But she'll put them right in front of it, or she'll put something rubbish right in front of the bin. Say, well, why not put it in? Right. You get a pile of washing in front of the machine, you say, just open the door and the washing machine won't eat you. You know, it can be a little thing like that. But Loving Quarantine did show that up, even the small, you know, even Caroline would make Ben's favourite dinner, which she thought was Ben's favourite dinner. You know, but then it got to the stage where he just blew it and thought, I don't like this dinner. You know, I don't like this.
I hate chicken. I hate fried chicken and mashed potatoes.
and she thought he loved it, you know, and the thing came out. But then it was good that, because I think they ironed out all the creases in their marriage.
Yep.
You know, as you say, at the end, they get back together again, and I think, you know, all the creases had been ironed out, and they thought, you know, it was like a rebirth sort of thing. Craig's away. I don't know what he's doing.
This might be a perfect time for a good Ryan O'Neal quote, since he just passed away. Love means never having to say you're sorry.
That is true. And then, right, he passed away. about 4 days ago, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because he was married to Farrah Fawcett, who we lost quite a
Yeah,
few.
he tortured her for quite a while.
She used to be one of my crushes when I was
I
like,
was just going to say that was one of my husband's crushes. Yeah,
when I
Oh
was
yeah, the hair. Do you see all that hair?
that's what I was going to say. It's a Dita thing.
It was when she was in Charlie's
Yeah.
Angels, you know, he thought, oh, Mamma Mia, you know, I'm only dead, I don't care. But he's back, let's see who'll stay.
There he
Yeah,
is.
but listen,
I sneezed. Oh, I
What happened? You
sneezed.
sneezed and blew your
I
phone out?
sneezed and I came back and you guys were gone. Now that is a hurricane sneeze. I'm sorry. I must have hit something, but I'm back.
Well, did you
Wow.
clean it off the phone? Whatever it was.
Well, yeah, my desktop is a little bit messy, but wow, yeah, that was bizarre, man. I came back and you guys were gone. I thought, whoa, what happened? So I'm not really sure what happened, to tell you the truth. I'm guessing I hit something. I don't know.
Well, you missed some funny stuff. So there.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I was kind of embarrassing for.
as
I
it,
don't know.
as with that night we did, I don't know if you remember, we did the quiz, we made everybody on, and my chair broke.
Oh,
Do you remember?
That was with us, wasn't it?
I went with yourselves and with Chelsea, or with quite a few, you know, CRA people on the panel, and my chair, you weren't, no, you
No,
weren't
I
there.
wasn't there.
My chair just snapped, and I just went straight down, and
did you get hurt?
no, my pride did. My pride, that was that serious.
Oh
That was-
no!
But my foot hit the lead for the camera, and it knocked it off, and it took a couple of seconds. You know that takes you a couple of seconds. That realization.
Yeah.
You think, wait a minute, what happened? And then because my chair had broke, I never had anything to sit on, so I to their charity, he broke my chair. Then decided he was going to sit on my makeup trolley, which then I didn't find anything else to sit on. So Sarah, this makeup suitcase kind of thing that was on wheels,
Jeez.
and I thought, you know what, people, that'll just need to do, and I broke it. Not I'm very big, as we said earlier on, but it was one of the kind of moments I think, and that's what I like doing these lives because you never know what's going to happen.
No.
We were shooting Love in Quarantine, and the gentleman who was doing sound was too much for the chair he was sitting in, and it collapsed
Yeah.
when he was working, and just right in the middle of something. So stuff happens. We were shooting a film, and I think was it what second or third day, Craig, something like that, fourth day, I don't know. Guy who was recording all of the film, the footage, lost all of the footage for 2 whole days worth of shooting. We fired him, no doubt, on the spot.
Yeah.
Paid him what we owed him up to that point and let him go. Even though he said he was willing to work for free the rest of the time, it wasn't worth our time to take the chance.
No.
No. I mean, it's probably expensive enough putting a movie together and all the different branches of the tree, basically. It all costs, as the old saying, time is money and stuff like that. And if you're paying for locations and actors, actresses, costumes, crew.
We had people quit the first day. First day, we had a technician on shooting Evil Down the Street. Guy quit. He said he just couldn't get behind doing a horror film. All right, fine.
No, he did not even show up.
Oh, he didn't even show up.
He did not even show. It was our on-set editor, and he sent me a text around, I don't know, 8:00 in the morning, and said, he just doesn't feel comfortable editing for a horror film, and thought, are you kidding us? And so we had to. I mean, he had all this time. Several months, and he wakes up and has this epiphany, and so it's one of our PAs, it's John Stamos, called a local college, Saddleback College. He knew the dean of drama there, and we were able to secure some else services. But yeah, the morning of our first day of shooting, we got that text that our on-set editor was not going to be there.
So did you have to run about and try and find somebody else, a replacement, or that would have been easy?
Well, fortunately, our John Stamos is a very well-liked guy, much more so than David and me. And so he was able to get a hold of the guy over at Saddleback College and got somebody on set within the hour. So we were very, very fortunate. So yeah, so it worked out, but not the way you want to start your very first day of shooting. That's for darn sure.
No, you know, I don't feel comfortable editing that.
No, it just seems very strange about the fact that, you know, he obviously knew what the genre was. And then it's just like
100%, Laura.
Do this. That makes absolutely no sense at all.
No, I mean, we had secured his services, oh gosh, David, what, 2 or 3 months prior to this, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long time. It wasn't like, you know, 2 or 3 days previous. I mean, a long time prior to this. So you had plenty of time that if this wasn't your thing, to have said, hey guys, I don't want to do it, but not the morning of. Yeah.
No.
That was not cool.
Yeah.
It's no the done thing. I mean,
Yeah.
so you're loving quantity then with Demon Fighter, and it was Jeff Hatch again played the father, and he would get into witchcraft, the dark arts, and what have you, and the priest, Father. I want to say Father Michael.
Yep, Father Michael.
Am I right?
Even I knew that.
Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Right, good stuff.
We call him Papa Mikey for short.
Papa Mikey.
Yeah, there you go.
And what was I going to say? You put me over.
Sorry.
So he's called in to try and sort out the issue, but he's got problems as well. You know, he's basically.
Yeah.
And I think that showed as well that nobody's perfect. I think everybody, you know, priests, ministers, you know, everybody imagine them to be kind of perfect and, you know, just clean slate past and stuff. But it showed that nobody's perfect and we've all got our own kind of demons in a way, you know, that we deal with on a daily basis, whatever. And
well, you know, the first time I ever saw a film that did that I saw was The Exorcist, the first Exorcist. The priests in there were drinking and smoking and doing all this stuff, and he boxed, so there was a bit of violence, you know, in his nature, and they were showing this. You know, the guy had this violence. He drank, he smoked cigarettes, you know, and ultimately he kills the demon in himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a bit of a paradox there. You know, what's going on here, really, right? And so I've always thought there are no perfect people. That's just a given. I don't care who you are, where you're from, or what your calling is.
Right.
There are no perfect people. And to have a priest who was coming across as holy moly, I couldn't stomach that. And when we decided on the character, when Craig asked me if I was interested in doing the part, I said, yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely. And I read Father Bob for The Evil Down the Street. He was wimpy to me. He was, you know, I said, nah, let's juice him up a little bit. Let's make him some guy who drinks and he's fed up with where he's at and he hates the devil and he knows he's never going to win the battle. He knows that. He will die and the devil will still be here. He knows that. So in Demon Fighter, we wanted a priest who was real. Somebody that smoked pot just to get through the day, you know, so that he could function correctly. Somebody that fought to get his own demons out. And so if he's going to fight, might as well go beat up bad guys. So he roamed the streets looking for bad guys and put the hurt on them. You know, and what is that? His penance? Is he a vassal of God? Is that his penance for all the bad stuff he did, how he went to prison and everything? We redeem ourselves. I think we redeem ourselves when we fully, truly make a connection with God. We realize that we have to show our humility for our weaknesses. Because we're human beings. By nature, we're weak. Our strengths drive us crazy, because we know better. But, oh, man, just one more hamburger. What the hell? Come on, another beer.
A peanut butter sandwich.
There you go. Peanut butter and banana sandwich. Exactly right, my friend. And so Demon Fighter, we were looking to create a character that had all these flaws.
Yeah.
Right.
He had this problem, and he voiced it through violence. And that's what he did.
And you're totally spoiling me. You're saying, we've all got vices, just one more hamburger, or, somebody's giving up smoking, it's just one more cigarette, and then that's it,
right.
Whiskey, and I'm done, and you have that whiskey, you think, right, this is if I'm having one, and no,
then I'm leaving, then I'm out of here.
It's that guy says, honey, I'm sorry, I'll never cheat again, I promise. I won't do it again. Right.
For the diet one, I'll start Monday.
Start Monday.
That Monday. You never say what Monday, then come the Monday, you think, I can make it next Monday, And you always
mean this Monday. I meant next Monday.
I was meant next Monday. You daft, and you always make up an excuse. I'll make it next Monday because the weather's going to be good this week.
Yeah.
The football
game. Ridiculous excuse on the planet, but you still use it, and maybe the Monday's an odd number. You say, well, no, because this Monday's an odd number.
You know what the problem is really? Monday falls on a bad day of the week.
It's not good. It's the same as when your alarm goes off. You never get up at 7:03 or 7:01. You always wait till 7:05 or 7. And then you put that, and it's 7:06 or right, 7:10. You just don't do it. It's just all these wee silly things that we do in life, I'm not getting up at 7:03. You daft. I'll wait till 7:05. I'll get up at a decent hour. Kind of thing. But I'm watching the time, gents. I know these are very busy men. So that's the four films: Evil Down the Street, The Crumbs, Loving Quarantine, and Demon Fighter. And I'll say to everybody who's watching, if you've not watched them so far, go and give them a watch. They're on. I'll let Craig and David tell you where they are before we move on to what's coming next for CRA. Where can you find your films?
Sure. All four films, you can watch them on YouTube. Our distributor, Indie Rights Movies, they have a YouTube channel, so you can, anywhere that you're used to watching movies for free on YouTube, you can see all of our films there. And also Tubi. Tubi is available here in the States, Canada. Unfortunately, not in the UK. It is in Australia. But in the UK, YouTube would be a good choice. You can follow David and myself certainly on Facebook and CRA Entertainment. So those would be some areas to reach out to us.
Oh, and if you happen to see a picture of us and go, that's not the two guys who was on the show, you're right.
but 20 years ago, yes, that would have been us. That would have been us.
We have to update our pictures. I was telling Craig, I know I'm going to go into an audition. They go, well, where's this guy? You don't look like this guy.
You're lunatic thinking, no. I've a quite funny story that happened to us a couple of years ago. We've been coming into the shows and stuff like that, and he kept saying, get in touch with me, I want to talk to you. So I mailed the guy, it's like, what's going on? And he said, can we meet? So we arranged to meet at McDonald's. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? And so also I seen this gentleman's profile picture. So we went to McDonald's and it was like 80 degrees. I'm not lying. We were in Scotland, but it was 88. It was absolutely cooking. I had a vest top on. That's how hot it was. So, you know, you've got a picture of somebody and you're looking about and go here. And then you spot somebody who is like 3 times, 4 times the size.
Wow.
You know, he's got the right face, but everything else. And, I mean, it's not no disrespect to the guy. And you look at the photo and you're like, and he's this big, thick, I call it a fisherman's jumper, you know, big turtleneck, and work trousers and big work boots and a big heavy jacket. And he was sitting there, I'm thinking, is that him? And is that kind of scenario you say, did I just go up and chance it? Did you say, are you such and such? What's the chances they say, no, I'm no? They turned out right. But as you say, you know, a wee update of the profile picture might have helped the scenario a wee bit. That's the thing. That's what makes life colourful. So what's next in the pipeline for? See, well, if we want to mention Shane, your other partner, how's Shane doing?
He's doing good. Shane's all over the place. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of talents. He's always doing something involved in films of some sort with some different company. He's doing good. Matter of fact, all the people that have been working on our projects, I think the majority of them are involved in a lot of different films, doing stuff, the actors and whatnot. I'm always happy to see that when I see actors doing other good stuff. Right. I'm like, I go, I worked with that person right on.
I know him.
Yeah, I know him. But where we're going, we're venturing off into a documentary. We have this documentary we've been putting together. I won't give too much of it away, but I will say it is about the caregivers who treat cancer patients. That's what it's generally about the caregivers who treat cancer patients and what they go through. Mm-hmm. Wow. So we look forward to putting that together. We're getting pretty close. We're in a quasi post-production right now. I say quasi because we still might be putting together a few more things for it, but we're sorting through what we have, and we think we have something pretty good. So we're looking forward to that, and it's called "What Are the Odds?" What are the odds that you get cancer? Well, what are the odds that you were born?
Yeah,
you just don't know. As you say about the caregivers, the cancer.
Astronomical. Yeah, and it's such a prevalent thing. Unfortunately, that unless you have a direct association with something like pesticides or talcum powders or something chemical of some sort, how you get a lot of it, they have no idea how it happens. Genetic mutations of your cellular structure. I mean, how does that occur, right? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're working on. Yeah. And hopefully we will have it released the spring of next year. If we keep going where we're going, I think we'll get it out. The gentleman I spoke of earlier, Josh Williams, we're excited to say is our partner on that venture. And I'm very excited about that. I'm always excited about working with Craig because he's one of the few people I've met in my life who puts up with me. That's 2, my wife and Craig.
But you've got that.
I'm gaining fans, man.
That's funny.
You've got that kind of special bond, and as I said, it works. And both of you have done amazing.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Over all the years, but you can see when the 2 years are together, even on a little panel like this.
Yeah. Still back off each other.
That's the word. Yeah. You bat off each other, you bounce off each other, and it clicks. It's chemistry.
I truly believe God put him in my path because the guy who he was talking about, he hounded me for a year. I was working on another film, and that gentleman, Todd Chase, was on that project. And he was constantly telling me, I want you to meet my friend, Craig Arhens. I said, okay, text me his number. I'll give him a buzz. Just about a year went by. We were on set one day, and he kept on. I said, call him up right now. I'll talk to him right now.
Yeah.
And that's how it went. So why was that? Why did this man think it was so important for me to meet this person?
I
As God was sitting here going, Todd, hound the shit out of him. You stay on him,
I know,
Todd.
right?
He'll do it sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
and look where he's at today. You know, a very successful partnership. Right? So, what's your, just before we wind up, what's your plans for Christmas? Any?
Thank you. We wish you for good for Christmas. I'm not doing nothing but getting right here and doing what I do. That's about it. I'm not going anywhere or doing anything special, but hanging out with my family.
I'll be going to Idaho on the 28th with my daughter. 29th and coming back on the 2nd to see my youngest daughter, her husband, and my granddaughter, Penelope. So we'll be there for, 4 days or something like that. So that'll be fun. And now, since we were last there, which was end of September, my granddaughter now when we were there last, she was just on the verge of walking. So now she pretty much is running around and knows 20 words. So it's going to be a big difference this time as compared to when we were there in September. So we're looking forward to that.
And I must say this, Craig, for $20, your family will never hear that stepdaughter comment from me.
I know. That's where, well, when you're old, things get jacked up. You sneeze and you come back and everybody's gone. So I don't know.
It's age. It's a curse. It's like when you walk into the wrong house and sit down and everybody looks at you. Why are you here? And then you realise you're not in your own house. You're like, that's a one deal.
What really makes it bad is when they come and offer you something to eat.
Or you go and take a bath. That's the worst part. And they come in and interrupt you. What do you want?
Where's my toothbrush? This is not my toothbrush.
Where's my bath? Where's my pink fluffy slippers?
That's funny.
That's a story for another day. Yes. But I'll hold on to these just a wee second after we come off, if that's all right, gents. So we'll wind up there. So that's CRA, the journey so far. Go and give them a look up on Facebook and all the other places that Craig mentioned, because my memory sucks and I can't remember them all.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody, happy holidays.
And you will be seeing them again. You've seen a lot anyway. You'll be seeing these two gentlemen again in the new year. So that's it for tonight, folks. We're back on Saturday with our Xmas Live with all the three teams, Australia, America, and us all together. We don't have a topic. We're just going to come on and talk crap for an hour and a half, something like that. I don't know. And then we're rounding the year off on Monday with Patty Negri.
Yep.
Patty's coming in just for a wee Christmas catch up. But a major thanks to David Espinosa and Mr. Craig Allen. Either noted a couple of technical glitches. We'll pass him by. We'll put that down to age. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care, people. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.